Y'all, I'm down 41% on eBay and 70% on Poshmark. So far, Q4 is not hitting it for me. This is looking at year-over-year data. Let me know down below how your Q4 is looking. Today's video, I am going to be walking through all of my numbers, October so far, looking into Q4. Q4 is supposed to be, you know, this huge sales are picking back up, and typically Q4 is a good time for most resellers. I typically, October into November, have really good months, and then December kind of falls off. But right now, not even October is looking good. So we're going to be checking in with my numbers, how October is looking. I'm sharing all of my numbers with you, full disclosure, what's going on right now. And then I will be sharing my top sales so far in the month of October. You guys may see this into November by the time I edit it, but so far my sales that are holding on, that are making me some money so far in October. Let's jump right into it. This is the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. If you guys aren't familiar, it's just a Google sheet where I track and manage all my inventory, and then it gives me all of this data as well as an analytics, as well as other charts that we're going to be looking at. It is for purchase if you want to look at your numbers as well, link down below with a coupon code. So what we're looking at here is my average profit and my sell-through. I want to talk first about my rolling 28-day comparison. So this is comparing basically most of October to most of September. I'm filming this towards the end of October. I have 1 weekend left in October, so just shy of all of October. 28 days, so basically the last 28 days compared to the previous 28 days, right? So basically most of Q4 so far into the previous month. Gross revenue, this is my top number. So this is my shipping, my fees, you know, everything at the very, very top, not my profit, but my very top number. I'm down $562. That's a lot. You know, especially when we're talking $4,500 here, $500, that's a decent portion to be down, especially as we're going into October and things should be ramping up for me, right? Items sold, I've sold 31 less items than I'd sold previously. So things are declining for me, not increasing in October like they should be. Average sale price is up by $2. And friends, we're going to talk about this in just a minute, why this is. But for me, I'm women's fashion seller. And so going into winter, going into fall, the inventory tends to just sell more. You have jackets, you have coats, you have boots, right? So all of these things are increasing my average sale price, not necessarily because I'm doing anything, not necessarily because things are great, but strictly just because it's the inventory that's selling right now tends to sell a little bit higher. I am going to say though, if we look at my average profit, October, so this is this year compared to the previous year, we're looking at $23 compared to $24. If we look at the year before, I was at $29. So you can see a steady decrease in my average sale price. We're looking at profit here, so that takes into account a cost of goods as well. But you can see, so what I'm looking at here, the $29.82 is actually 2 years ago. My average profit was $29, and now, right now in October, I'm sitting at $23. So not only am I selling less items, are selling for less, right? So why do we think this is? Let me know down below what you guys are thinking. But I think the biggest indicator right now is strictly the economy. You're seeing that people are perceiving that they have less money, or they do have less money. You have a lot of things politically, worldwide going on right now that kind of make people hold on to their money a little bit more, whether they actually have less money or don't. Unemployment, you're seeing that a lot of people that previously got out of the workforce during COVID are trying to get back into the workforce during COVID, which can kind of, obviously that's showing that they're wanting and needing a little bit more money. And then the other big thing, and we're going to see how this goes, but I think this is going to be a big indicator, depending on what categories you sell in, but student loans came back on, right? So during COVID, not only were we getting stimulus, we were getting, you know, checks for children, extra money for children. We were getting just stimulus. We also didn't have to pay student loans. And the people that are paying student loans are the large percentage of the people in the U.S. economy that are driving the economy, right? You're talking about your millennials, your Gen Zs, right? Did I say the right Gen? But you're talking about your people who are out there working, who are having kids, who are buying houses, who are going on vacations, right? We're not talking about the college age kids that are in college, and we're not talking about, you know, the boomers who are retired and not really putting a ton of money back into the economy. But those core people that are really putting money into the economy, their student loans came back. And I'm going to tell you, because I'm in this population, it's not a small number. And having this as a new bill that you hadn't previously had, it is going to impact the spending. And we're seeing it right here. Let me know what you guys think down below. That's also impacting sales. You're also seeing live sales coming on as well in lots of other platforms. But I think overall, we're just seeing this steady decline, right? Items listed. So I'm going to talk about this in another video, really go dig deep into this. I am listing less items. I'll tell you quickly here, but definitely make sure to subscribe and keep an eye out for the next video, because I really go in depth into how this is working for me and why I'm doing it. It is working. So here's the thing. I'm listing less new items, right? As you can see, my sales are down. As you can see, it's outside factors, nothing that I have control over right now. I'm buying less items to list, right? I'm not buying and spending my cash flow to kind of keep my bottom line. I am going in and doing some strategies to try and keep those sales as high as I can. And I'm going to talk about this in the video, but essentially that's what's happening. I am still listing. eBay's looking at 12 items listed a day. They're showing as new. They're coming up in new as at the algorithm, as well as some other strategies. But as far as listing completely new items, right? I'm going in and taking old inventory, deleting it, and then listing it as a new item, doing a full audit and making sure it's good and the pictures. And, I kind of just gave you a little hint at the video that is coming out, but that's why you're seeing that items listed is down. I'm going to say in the reselling community, everyone's like, oh, you have to list more, you have to list more, you have to list more, which is true, because if you don't have items listed, they cannot sell. But here's the thing, when you're continuing to see a steady decline in my sell-through rate, so what you can look at here, sell-through is the dotted line. And if you just look at it, we're looking at this current 12-year rolling 13-month rolling, compared to the previous 13-month rolling. So we're essentially looking at 2 years of data here. And if you look at the trends of my sell-through rate, you can see, there's a couple outliers, but for the most part, you can see a steady decline in your sell-through rate, right? And so this is where it's not smart to just keep listing more items unless you have a great cost of goods or you're getting things for free. Look at your numbers. But what the steady decline in sell-through rate means, right? So your sell-through rate is how many items you have listed out of how many that you have for sale. So if you're selling, 20% of the inventory that you have, but then over the course of 2 years, right? We're seeing this. This is not things are bad right now. This is a steady decline for me. 2 years of data that we're looking at. If things aren't selling, you're not selling as many on a rate. So ultimately, if you continue to keep listing the same as you've always done, but you're not selling as many, that is a way that you're going to run out of money, right? To say it nicely, if you continue to spend as much money as you were 2 years ago and you went from 20% sell-through rate, you were selling 20% of it to now you're at a 4% sell-through rate, you're spending money that you ultimately don't have because you're not selling that inventory. So you have options here, right? I was at an 13% sell-through rate, and now down here, I'm at a 4% sell-through rate. My sell-through rate has steadily declined to 9%. If I continue to list and buy inventory the same rate that I was when I was selling 11%, I'm going out of business, right? I really get into this in my video that's coming up, and this is kind of the strategies that I'm doing right now. You can't spend more than you have coming in, or you don't have a business anymore. You're just doing a whole bunch of work. So this whole strategy of list more, you have to be strategic in what you're doing and really know your numbers. Again, my sell-through rate compared to the previous month is down 80.89, so almost a full percent. You can see a steady decline from 11% down to 4% over the past 2 years, which is not great because I still am listing, right? And this is, again, one more time to hit it home, this is where listing more is not always the strategy, because if you list items, if you continue to purchase the same as you were purchasing when you had an 11% sell-through rate to when you have a 4% sell-through rate, you're going to run out of money if you haven't already. All right, so we can look at my monthly summary. Like I said, we are in the end of October. I'm filming this on the 25th. I think this spreadsheet was actually updated, what day is today? 2 days ago. So this is, I have about a week left of the month, but we can take a look and see what's going on. So gross revenue, about $4,000. Items sold, 135. My average sale price is $29. Sell-through rate is 4%. I'm about 50% to my goal. I set these goals, but I'm going to tell you, I'm not hitting my goal this year because things have just been on a steady decline. I like to hit 100,000 gross revenue. It's not happening this year. It's just, unless something happens in the next 2.5 months, outrageous, it's not happening. You can look and see here, my average cost of goods is about $5. My average profit per item is $2.97. This has continued to go down, my cost of goods, because as you can, as I was talking about earlier, my average sale price, my average sale price is continuing to decline. So if I want to continue to make money, there's only two variables right here, right? My profit and my cost of goods. I can't do much about shipping. Little to nothing can I do about fees. So if I want to continue to make money, I have to look at sourcing strategically and work on my cost of goods. Now, items listed is 90. This is new items that are listed, new items that are going into my spreadsheet. Sold items 135, right? So again, you can see this is one indicator. Like I said, I'm going to do a full video of what I'm doing in other strategies to where I am doing reverse reseller nirvana, right? If you follow Chris at Daily Refinement, he talks a lot about selling as many items as you're listing. I am intentionally doing the opposite. I am intentionally trying to sell more items than I am listing, which is working because here's the thing. I have already spent money on all of the items that I have already listed. To preserve my cash flow, I am trying to sell items that I already have listed instead of listing new items that I'm spending money on. And you can see here it's working. Like I said, I'm going to do a video, so make sure to subscribe and follow to see the full video of what I'm doing to get inventory that I already have, that I've already spent money on to sell, so I'm not spending more money in hopes that I can hold on during these rough times. So let's take a look at my top categories. I mentioned this a little bit, and then I'll get into what is actual items that are selling for me. Well, we can look here. No, I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to look at top categories. So my top categories for profit. Again, this is Sarah Styles Sales and Trends Dashboard. Lots and lots of charts to look at to kind of analyze your data and make the best decisions for your business. So my top categories here, we have your sell-through rate. Again, how many items you're selling out of how many that you have for sale. This is a good indicator of how well the item's selling. If you strictly look at your quantity, again, like I said, if you strictly look at your quantity, I'm selling this many items. But if you're continuing to increase your store size and you're not selling more items at the same rate, you're actually doing worse. And like I said before in the video, if you continue to do this, your sell-through rate continues to decline, but you continue to spend the same amount of money, you're going to go out of business. You're going to run out of money. So I'm looking at my sell-through rate here on the left-hand side. On the bottom, I'm looking at my average profit. Profit being just taking out a cost of goods. This is not taking out shipping and fees. So I want to kind of look at anything up in this top quadrant would be a high sell-through rate and a high average sale price. You can see I don't really have anything up there right now. It's a testament of the times. My highest sell-through rate right now is 8%. So that's about double where I'm at with all my other stuff, my, monthly sell-through rate, which is really good. But look at what it is. It's sweatshirts, it's winter, it's fall stuff. So if we come over here and then look at my, highest average profit, we're looking at jackets and coats, right? And this is what I talked about. It's not necessarily something I'm doing. It's more a testament of just what time, what season it is for my inventory. Shoes, this is going to be like boots, winter snow boots and stuff that just simply sell higher. Bags is up there. Dresses is up there, which is interesting because it's kind of getting out of that season. But we'll look at a couple dresses that sold and you'll kind of see a trend there as well. Sweaters, right? So you're seeing all the things that have a high sell-through rate that have a high average sale price are going to be kind of my winter stuff. So let's take a look at what's actually selling for me. This was a beautiful St. John women's full zip jacket, sold for $150 on eBay. Again, women's jacket, kind of poncho cape thing, fur, sold on eBay as well. This is a dress that sold, but it sold, it's longer sleeves. It is a designer dress. It sold, this one I did get us, offer for. I think I took an offer for like $70, right? So I had it listed at 118. And I took an offer. Friends, things are rough right now. I'm basically taking all the offers. Taylor Stitch, these actually just sold today on Poshmark. They're men's. I literally have no idea. I know nothing about this brand, nothing about men's really. Again, look, we're looking at jackets. Jackets just simply sell higher right now. So if you're looking at what to purchase, if you're in women's fashion, jackets, boots, sweaters, that's what's selling right now. It's what sells higher simply just because of the inventory that it is. Wilfred, I'm pretty surprised this one sold for as much as it did. But you know, I will take it. BCBG. So what you're noticing here in the dresses that are selling are longer sleeves, right? So that makes sense for fall coming in. I'm in Colorado and it's still pretty warm here. So dresses that are long sleeves totally make sense. Or formal gowns like this. People are going to events. Christmas is going to be coming up, holiday parties, that kind of thing. Now that we're back into going places, I think you might have a few more of these. Now I'm going to say BCBG Max Zaria silk strapless dress gown like this. 2 years ago, probably would have sold for double the price. Henry, look, we're talking boots. I'm pretty sure I took an offer on this as well. Maybe it sold for like $40 or $50. I think I took an offer on. Men's blazers. I'm kind of dabbling in men's a little bit, if you can't tell, because my women's fashion is not great. And so I'm kind of dabbling in men's a little bit. I don't know a lot about men's. I do know this brand, and I do know that it's high end. It sold, but I'm pretty sure it sold as a offer for maybe like $50 to $70, not this $110. Which is something to note, friends. If you're looking at comps on eBay, if the person takes an offer on it, it's the same on Poshmark too, actually. Or no, Poshmark is if it's in a bundle, it's not the same. But when you're looking at comps, do be mindful that just because it says 110 doesn't actually mean that it sold for 110. If they took an offer on it, it's not going to show that price. So when you're getting offers and you go and look at comps, just be mindful of if it's reasonable or not. Kate Spade, again, friends, this would have sold many years ago for much higher than that, but I'll take what I can get. Michael Kors boots. The shoes are where it's at, right? You're seeing. So I'm going to go back to this dress. It is a tank top dress, but it's a sweater dress. My guess would be that they're in a wool blend, right? So definitely a winter type. We have one sweater here that's a cashmere that sold for an offer, I think around $30. Anthropology, again, this is more of a fancy gown type dress. What's interesting about this, and let me know down below what you guys would do. So I got an offer. I woke up in the morning. I had an offer. I had this listed on Poshmark and eBay. I had an offer on both for the exact same price. Pretty obvious that it's the same person, would be my guess, or just a random coincidence. But so an offer for both. I haven't accepted either one. What would you guys do? What offer would you have taken? You can obviously see that I took Poshmark, and the reason that I took Poshmark is they can't return it. And this is $60 in my pocket that they can't return unless, you know, they find something that I didn't disclose or something. But on eBay, they could buy it and it doesn't fit, or they don't like the way it looks or whatever. They send it back, and then I have to wait that whole time to try and sell it again as seasons pass. So I took the Poshmark because there is very, very minimal chance that it can actually be returned. And then the last one that I'm going to show you is this purse. I'm going to tell you, purses used to be my jam. Purses aren't really selling nearly as high as they used to, but definitely not to the rate that they used to. I think that's just where we're at right now. Guys, let me know how your sales are doing and what you're noticing in Q4 strategies that you're trying. Do make sure to subscribe to see that video coming out on how I'm staying in this and trying to hold on as things are really rough. YouTube thinks you'd like this video. I'll link a playlist down here of how to make money reselling.